Hello, Barstow. I hope your week went well. How was your week, Mateo?
My week was good, but it felt longer than usual because of last week's parent-teacher conferences. I'm so happy it's almost the weekend.
I totally agree that this week felt longer than usual. We still have an action-packed show full of announcements and pieces, so let's hop right in.
Time for 8th graders to start thinking about high school. On November 4th, 15th, and 20th, the 8th graders will visit the upper schools so the transition from middle to high school will be as smooth as possible. Midterms are fast approaching on November 12th, so remember to turn in all your work. Speaking of midterms, it is a good time to do some organization. Let's watch this piece by Michael to learn how to better organize.
Let's think through some steps that students could take to tackle their email. Step 1, try to delete anything you don't need. If you open your inbox and it's full of hundreds of emails and you're not even sure what they're all about, see if you can take some time to delete, get it cleaned up. Number 2, I would reply to anything important. If a teacher has emailed you or a coach or there's a volunteer opportunity that you want to participate in or something, find the time to reply to those. Keep your replies brief. I think email is great for very short communications. And then number 3, be a little cautious when it comes to subscribing, because next thing you know, you're going to be on so many email lists and get these daily emails that maybe you're not really interested in. You can usually unsubscribe from those. It just takes a little time. So as you're deleting, you might also scroll to the bottom of those emails and look for that unsubscribe button. See if you can click it, find out what you need to do to get off of an email list that you're not really interested in. I took a day last year and unsubscribed to a lot of things, and now I need to do it again. I'm resubscribed to a number of things. And then the last thing is kind of figuring out what organization works for you. If you're working in our Barstow Gmail and you want to create folders where you can organize emails you want to keep, those are called labels. I find that when I create those labels, I then forget to go look in them. So for me, it works a little better just to have most things in a list until I know for sure I don't need them anymore, and I can put them over in a label in a folder. They're there if I need them, but if there's anything I need to work with, I need to reply to, I keep it in that inbox. I have my inbox organized in 2 sections, unread and important at the top, and then read at the bottom. So if I've opened it and read it, it's still there. It's just at the bottom list. Anything I haven't read is at the top. And so that sort of shows me how much I need to deal with. That's something you can do in settings. So again, if you want to play around with the settings, you click on the little sprocket thing and you see all the different settings you can work with. You can really customize your Gmail. It just depends on how much you want to put into it, how simple you want to keep it. There's nothing wrong with keeping it very simple. Just deleting, replying briefly, unsubscribing, and then thinking about your organization. Hopefully those 4 steps will help you keep an organized inbox.
On Tuesday, November 16th, the AMC 10 and 12 will be held from 8:30 to 10:30 in the dining hall. Today is the last day to talk to Dr. Kramer and register, so be sure to get that done. There is a good volunteer opportunity on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. The Junior Achievement Academy needs 3 to 4 volunteers on the 8th to move chairs for 1 to 2 hours. This can be any time during the day. On the 9th, they need 4 parking attendants and 3 greeters from 4 to 7:30. On the 10th, they again need 3 to 4 volunteers to move chairs at any time during the day for 1 to 2 hours.
Wow, that was a lot of announcements.
I agree. Hey Mateo, do you remember being in middle school?
Yes, it seems like it was just yesterday I was in Mr. Goulden's class, and it's crazy to look back on how much has changed since then.
Me too. I have seen a lot of renovations around the area, and I'm interested in learning about them.
We have a middle school tour piece by Ruth to teach you all you need to know.
Hi, my name is Ruth Goulden and I am in 2nd grade. We are going to be seeing some teachers and seeing what they're teaching. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Why, hello. Yes, I do. Hello, my name is Mr. Goulden and I teach 8th grade English.
What are you teaching in English?
Oh, yes, great question. In English right now, 8th grade students are analyzing and performing Romeo and Juliet, the classic tale of the disastrous consequences that befall one when they do not obey their parents. It's actually the classic tale of what happens when you're in love.
That's cool.
Students are acting out the play in the room, and they'll sort of act it out, and we have sword fights. Well, not actual swords. They're
Oh, you mean
yardsticks.
these?
Yeah. Well, you're holding it by the blade. Careful. Yeah. So stuff like that.
Thanks for telling us about English.
Thank you.
Now we are headed to Mr. Jones' middle school Spanish teacher. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I would love to introduce myself. My name is Profe Jones, and I teach middle school Spanish.
Can you tell us what we do in classroom?
Yeah, so right now my 6th graders are learning adjectives. You know what an adjective is, right? What's an adjective? A word that describes something good. So my 6th graders are learning Spanish adjectives. My 7th graders are learning a little bit about Spanish that comes from Latin. You know about Latin? Yeah, it's an old language, and about 75% of Spanish comes directly from Latin. And then my 8th graders are learning reflexive verbs. Oh my goodness. It's early in the morning, right? Reflexive verbs, which are a lot of daily routine verbs. So washing your hands, washing your face, drying off, waking up, going to sleep, those kinds of things. Awesome, thank you. Muchas gracias, Ruth. This was fun.
Adios.
Adios. Gracias.
Adios. We are now headed to Mrs. Thornburg's classroom, middle school science teacher.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mrs. Thornburg, and I teach 7th grade science and environmental science.
That's cool. What do we do?
In 7th grade science right now, they're learning about life sciences. So it's like biology, and they're learning right now about cell theory and the parts of a cell. So a cell is the basic unit of all living organisms. So they're teeny tiny, and we can't see them, so we use microscopes to look at them, but they do everything for us in our body.
Thank you, Miss Thornburg.
Bye, have a good day.
Bye. So now we are headed to Miss Padberg's room. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Jennifer Padberg.
What do you teach?
I teach 6th and 7th grade world geography.
That's really cool. What do you do in 6th and 7th grade world geography?
Oh my goodness, we do so many things. Right now we're getting started with some map basics. So in 6th grade we're learning about how to read maps and how to find out whether maps have distortion on them, and using latitude and longitude to find our way around. And in 7th grade, we already know some of those basic map skills, so we put them all together into a continent that we invented. And then we're learning about governments, and so we're designing a government system to fit our continent.
That is so cool. Thank you.
Great piece. And finally, we'll end our show by showing you some images from yesterday's garden cleanup. The Kansas City Community Gardens partnered with Barstow Middle and Upper School staff and students to overhaul the school garden. The students had quite a challenge by assembling 18 cedar raised beds and hauling a whopping 12 yards of soil to fill them. The students prepared the beds with a thin layer of hay or coffee bags to complete the transformation in anticipation of a future prosperous garden. The garden will grant opportunities to learn and explore, as well as provide healthy dishes filled with herbs, fruits, and vegetables. And with that, we'll sign off. I've been Mateo.
And I'm Amelia. Have a swell weekend, Barstow.